Let's drive these Imperials back out of Gallia! Squad 7, move out!
On November 11th, 2014, Valkyria Chronicles is going to be released on the PC, almost a full 6 years after its original release on the PS3. Pretty long time, but better late than never. I'm actually really excited to see this game reach the PC. It's a favorite of mine, although I've seen many console ports go badly, so I'm reserving praise for the PC port before I play it. With this release, I'm wondering if Sega is testing the waters for demand of their games, or perhaps these types of games in particular. Everything is perfect, except for one little thing. Valkyria Chronicles is a game that sets its story through the framing device of a fictional war, in a fictional country, in a fictional world. But that fiction is based off Europe. Specifically, it emulates World War II in Europe with all the problems that came with World War II. Anyone who's curious would be able to learn that the development team actually took several cues from the movie Band of Brothers. Specifically, this game tells a fantasy story that tries to use World War II as a reference to tell the story. Everything is renamed, the technology and setting might be different, and even the idea that the continent of the game that the game takes place on, called Europa, drives home this fact. The problem comes in its release date. November 11th for many parts of the world is either Veterans Day, Armistice Day, or Remembrance Day. This day, while it shouldn't warrant any explanation, is important because it also marks the day that World War I ended unofficially. I'm not old, and I certainly haven't served in any war. I'm fully aware, as others should be, that Valkyria Chronicles is a fantasy game. It tells a fictional war story with all the friendliness of a game and the gentle loss of a Disney movie. These kinds of stories need to reach people, and this game does that almost perfectly. I just have fears that if word of the release date and the content of the game was more widely publicized, it might garner unwanted attention from proper news media, who would jump all over the game and bash it for its content without even really looking at it with a critical eye. Sega has the ability to see this problem, and the simple fact that it's being released on Remembrance Day either points to a massive oversight in their release plan or blatant uncaring attitude towards this date, which is funny considering this game. This port is overwhelmingly good news for future Sega games. It shows that they're willing to take a chance, and that's a beautiful thing. This is an industry where voting with your money declares your desires as a consumer. As such, it declares what product you'll get. I'm getting giddy and excited over the idea that Sega could bring more games to a larger audience like the PC crowd. But I wonder if they had a second chance, they'd change the release date. I don't think they'd be crucified for it, but it certainly wouldn't help the issue.